So that scene was pretty good. Yeah. So I didn't realize that they are really heavily leaning into the Darth Bane angle.
Yeah, that was pretty.
You know, sees himself
blatant.
as a good guy, not a bad guy. Doesn't see himself as like a destroyer or a murderer, just like a glorious conqueror.
That was pretty blatant there. Like that was.
Has
Bane.
an empire. Was trained by an old man.
Ryan, you ever realize that if Cad Bane had become a Sith, he would have been Darth Bane?
I did, yeah, he would have been. I actually think there is a Darth Bane in SWTOR somewhere. I think he's bald too, and I think he actually has a face mask like that. True story. You know what? We're gonna Google.
Available.
Why don't we figure this
back
out?
at the farm, preparing for the final assault. Oh, okay. So like that's like the last mission, right?
Seems likely.
I don't think so. Maybe. Yes. Darth Bane, Star Wars character. An ancient and legendary Sith Lord, it was Darth Bane who saw that the Sith traditions of old were ultimately a dead end.
Yeah,
all too often, squabbling Sith in
adventures,
their bid for
otherwise.
power upended carefully laid plans. He was a human.
Hang on
Bald,
a second,
though.
Ryan. I'm gonna say we do all the adventures before we do that, right? You guys on board with that?
Consider... Okay, new activities bill. Okay.
So I was gonna say like let's head.
I obviously don't. I don't think we have the time for the big end mission.
No, we definitely don't. I
but
mean,
we
we're
could-
at least doing it.
I was thinking, why don't we just then finalize maybe with the Crucible? Because I think we'll get we still have tasks to get rewards from that stuff. So as we're getting kind of end level here, it might be good to just iron some of that out. Oh, it's just because we only got like 20 minutes. Like I'm not against doing adventures either, but like I'm just usually. But the time of a match would be in Crucible. Like a few matches would eat that up just as equivalent. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, we need to get the adventures done anyway. So I feel like we just
speak with Hawthorne on the farm. So where are we headed?
Back to Nessus.
Okay.
Finish up what we started.
Is our final mission in... Oh, it says I can't do other activities at this time.
All right, because we're in the middle of...
Yeah, because you're doing things. I forgot about that. That's how that worked. So where's our final mission at here? Where does it actually take us? Or do we need... Oh, yeah, we need to...
We have to go back to the farm first to find out.
Yeah, to find out. Okay. But to our conversation earlier, I would say I think Gary Oldman is the greatest living actor from a talent perspective.
I was going to say the same thing.
The actor that I probably most identify with would be pseudo his protege, Tom Hardy. I will probably watch anything with Tom Hardy in it, default. Chris knows this, and maybe Stream knows this because I talked about it before, but Locke was like the final seal in the coffin where I was like, this man is fantastic at what he does.
He is pretty good at what he does.
Like Chris Jericho style. I'm the best in the world at what I do.
Yep, that's what we're going for, right? All right.
So here's the real question, Chris.
Conversation.
The Dolph Ziggler gimmick you were talking about earlier to start the stream. Do you foresee this being something that you think could get over long term, or is it just a quick? Is it a Damien Sandow equivalent? Like this is a quick thing that the audience will get over with, but when it gets tired, they're gonna run out of it. Like they're not gonna do anything with it.
That's
it's just gonna be the.
Because he's full heal, right? Too, right? When he's doing this. So like he literally, I don't know if you saw the video I sent you, but literally the one time he comes out to Ultimate Warrior's music, does the whole run. It's ridiculous. Like he does it completely. He looks completely invested, then stops, and it's just like you guys are all like basically fucking idiots for cheering for this. When I'm a real talent, in the ring is all that matters.
It's not the only time they've done the dresses like other people to use it to get over thing. Like obviously Eugene's entire gimmick was some of that. You know, you had Charlie Haas coming down in.
But
well,
I think
Santa
you're
Claus
misunderstanding
first,
a bit. I don't think the whole point is to get him overusing that. Not as a face, certainly.
No, but he's still leveraging previous endearments to get over. Like it's not like that's the first time they've done that. Is all I'm saying. Like he's insulting it versus celebrating it, but I mean it's still the equivalent of a cheap pop, right? I mean it's still like it's like coming out to Bret Hart's music when you're in Canada. Like, and I'm assuming he themes it to places they are, right? Like it's like wearing the other team's jersey and trashing it. Like it's like to me, that's the entry point for Dolph Ziggler to then cut a a super wicked promo. Not just about that other wrestler. Does he get into that, or is it just an entrance?
Yeah, he promos. He promos.
Okay. And what is does he promo just shit talking that previous wrestler?
No, the fans.
Okay. So how's he going to turn that? So here's my thing. Yeah, I need to see how that needs to turn from a feud with a feud is what I'm saying. Artifact discovered.
I got my third one.
Me too. Chris and I got it at the same time. Subclass. Here we go. Melted hammer. Yes, it's the hammer. I can be Thor or Captain America.
Son of a bitch! I didn't get it. This is some bullshit.
Suck it, Kyle.
I guess Chris, I'd be most interested to see how they leverage that in a feud. Like, when you're getting over initially, insulting the audience makes sense, but when you're cutting promos about another wrestler, how does he turn his gimmick into something interesting from that perspective? And I mean, it's not really on him, let's be real. How does WWE Creative write that? They might.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
a good starting point. I'll give you that. That's definitely a good starting point, especially for Dolph Ziggler, who I think has been lost for quite some time.
It's an interesting idea, if nothing else. But yeah, no, like he'll come out and people will be booing him and he's like, oh, sorry, do you need like some fancy entrance to get your, hold on, let me just go back there. And he'll come out like with Bailey's music and like with her stupid stuff, and then he'll pretend he's really into it, and then all of a sudden he'll just throw it off and be like, there, you guys are all just pathetic, and just, he starts going in on the fans essentially.
Like I can definitely see why you would think I like it, because that was one of my biggest complaints about
I didn't say you like it, but I did think it was
it's basically my complaint, which is like, hey, and it's not just, a lot of people have had this complaint. Too many wrestlers are just getting over with a quick entrance. Like, it's just all about the t-shirt sale type thing.
What is going on?
But I mean, that said, in mocking it, Ziggler can't just default to being the exact same thing, right? He has to be more than it.
Yeah.
like,
and that's on WWE for booking us.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's kind of the case with any satire. It's
happened?
like satire's okay if you're actually better than what you're mocking. I've heard recent reports that that's what the Orville is kind of like, that new Family Guy thing. It's like it's sitting there kind of satiring Star Trek, but it's not better than Star Trek. So it's like your jokes are falling flat when you're making fun of something, but then repeating the same sin. Like
the whole floor fell, Kyle.
Okay, well that'll do it.
Yeah, the floor fell for me too. We died.
I was on the pause screen.
Oh, we should have told you, but we were too busy talking about your
wrestler
doppelganger.
Oh, so good. Are we doing the public event that's just about to start down here?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Oh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. So I timed my jump correctly, but I then got shot before I was jumping, so it bumped my speed.
Wait a pull, Chris. There.
Shit,
yeah,
we're gonna. At what point is it just pulling each other? At a certain point, it's way to play Destiny 2.
No, but I mean, to be fair, Ryan, Chris does that the most.
I mean, he has the worst subclass, or the worst class for it. Yeah, I made it up. So where do we go?
Public event.
I'm just thinking Kyle might get his third thing from it too.
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy?
That's Jeremy Stevens, who had a really good fight at UFC 215. It was kind of disturbing to watch.
What did you ask?
Shocker.
Watching the few of those more live too, by the way, holy shit, there was a couple stoppages that should have happened way sooner. Oh man.
Yeah, the one with
Rick Glenn and Glenn versus Tucker, or was it, or Zucker?
Yeah, Gavin Tucker.
Yeah,
Gavin
holy
Tucker.
shit, was Rick Glenn ever out of that fight at some point, like way earlier. I want the distance. Apparently, like, some people are even thinking of suing the Edmonton Commission because they're like, how did you put that referee in there?
Glenn, or do you mean Tucker?
Whoever was hurt, I couldn't remember which one it was. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was Glenn.
Should have stopped it. It was ridiculous if they didn't.
We have to be inside of the circle, boys, in order to get the.
Yeah. I know.
Are you even back at the public event yet, Ryan?
Now I'm doing the I'm doing the quest. You guys got that? You guys got the fort covered.
No, we really don't actually.
We do have a level 20.
What's it of? There's only like 2 Guardians involved in the quest right now. So
I don't have the I don't have the fort covered over here. Hey, look, I'm at the public event. I was just gonna kill because I wanted to bring up that percentage until I died because I was already up there, so I was just like, fuck it. It took long enough to get up here. Let's just, you know. Hello, Pepper.
Oh, there we go. Here's Captain fucking America.
Here he comes to save the day. That's Mighty Mouse, not Captain America, but. I went down, but I get up again. I mean, that song is applicable to Destiny.
Yep.
I was having a debate with someone about that on a forum. They were talking about how, like, how fluffy the content was, and I was like, well, technically the Guardians respawn, so it doesn't make sense. It makes sense that they don't treat death that seriously because they don't die. So. And like someone else commented how like the rest of the characters in the game seem very snooty toward, like the regular civilians seem snooty towards Guardians, almost like there's that divide that Guardians are teaching war like it's not serious because it isn't serious to them, but it's serious to everyone else. Which I think allows them to narratively get away with that tone.
Guys, I'm just running in circles.
Although, I mean, I'd argue that isn't that different than how the MCU and things like that use that same tone the same way.
I'm not getting touched at all.
Yeah, I'm getting raped. I'm trying to like res people and do stuff, and there's just so much going on that it's like, man, is this heroic or regular?
It's regular.
This is I just don't think I've gotten the vibe for this event. So what are we doing here? We're okay. We got to override
Standing inside of a
it.
circle for a long period of time.
But we're in the circle, we die.
Yes, that's kind of the whole point, Ryan.
Huh. Weird.
Oh,
next thing you're gonna tell me this is a video game. Okay, what are you supposed to do when the bombs just start falling?
Run.
Like literally, when the bomb came down. Yeah, but how do you stay in the circle?
We do it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, timer stopped.
No, that's only one of 3, guys.
No, Ryan, it's
No.
that number changes depending on how many people are in the circle.
Oh, I thought we had to do this 3 times. Sorry.
No. Because there's 3 Guardians.
Here's
in
the thing.
event.
I've
It said
sometimes
02
like
for a long time. You were jacking
I've sometimes
off
gotten
the top.
I've sometimes gotten credit for events even when we haven't finished them. I think you still get rewards if you don't finish them.
Fractured arrow. Here we go.
There you go.
So
Okay.
it does seem like they kept the same 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
No.
Starting one's a little bit different. They changed one out of each.
Well, yeah, and there's the new one, right?
Is it really new?
Yes, because there was no such thing as a Captain America. There was no such thing as a Arc Striker or whatever. The Darth Maul.
yeah.
There was no such thing
they
as
changed out
the.
the worst of each of them.
Yeah. And
The
then they
Darth
changed
Maul
it.
is essentially just a reskin of it, though. It's
I mean, yeah, you
basically-
get it, but yeah, you didn't have the ability to do the flippy stuff to move around. Once you actually start, like, I don't know if because Kyle's not using it. In my Hunter, I maxed that out. When you max it out in one tree, you can actually keep that going for a really long time. Like every time you use the dodge to dodge a thing, your super meter goes back up. So it allows you to close distance a little better than the knife one did. Because the knife one had you teleporting around, if I remember correctly, with the Hunter last time around. But I mean, they even changed, obviously, some of the other stuff. From what all I can understand, the big difference in what they really try to teach you is the sequence with the new O abilities. Like, each subclass has its own way to sequence so that there's a way to play with that to make it play a little bit differently than the others. Like with the Titan, obviously, his O is kind of more about picking a spot and trying to stay there to reload. The Hunter leverages theirs to dodge, you know, etc., etc.
Okay. Now, what direct? I don't have a marker for where deep conversation is.
It was back up on those jumps, remember?
No, it's just I don't have the marker for it.
Yeah, it's not showing up for me either, but it's back up on those jumps where we were. I believe over on those. Yeah, it's over here somewhere. Like it's these floating platforms, I think, where we have to stand.
Dope.
I just don't. Yeah, it's these things. So we have to kill Vex, that's why you don't have a marker. We have to kill Vex, we're up here. Here's the issue.
We were killing Vex and then nothing happened.
Some of these platforms, when they get electrified like that, you can't stand on them. You'll die. Yeah. Shit. And like, yeah, each platform will light up.
These data cores the Vex are dropping. They contain answers to my questions.
Shit.
Perhaps they are attempting to interface with the friendly ghost, and you, Captain, are in their way.
I'm so sorry. I'll fix this.
Oh shit. Oh.
It just ended.
Shit, now this one's electrified. The one I jumped to.
I can't get them to stop. They want to tell me about the Virgo prohibition and
Yeah,
how
these type of things,
algorithms
I don't
are
remember
wrongly
this much
deployed
being
for
in
the
story
Mars
content. This is an adventure even, and it's in it. Like, this is more strike level stuff, where platforms that you can't stand on and stuff.
According
Yeah,
to the
from
network,
before, absolutely.
they are
Yeah,
sending you
I like that that's added.
I don't want
Like, I know
to help.
we've been raving a lot about it, but I really do think that the improvements to adventure are definitely tenfold. Like, they're super noticeable. Where are we headed next, boys?
I would agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of people seem to... I've read some people down on them, and I just don't really get it.
Well, I think their perspective was the first ones was a downer, and this feels way more like what it should have been in 1, and they are looking for, this is Destiny 2. Why is this not a sequel? This doesn't feel like a sequel. It feels like you fixed Destiny 1, which... listen,
That's what I was looking for in this game, though.
It's tough for me, man. It's tough for me because I do think that some of that is like people don't recognize how hard it is to make a video game these days,
Now
guys.
I know
Like,
why Asher's ghost never talks about her encounter with the Vex.
how much is Fallout 4 just more Fallout? Yet how many hours of fucking development do you think it took that to make that game?
Anyway,
Like,
this
that's just
data
the
is
world,
too
man.
valuable to pass up. There's one more access point at the top.
I mean, I'd rather
I
fix
just
Destiny
missed
1
it.
with some new shit than you know, more broken Destiny.
I think it took a lot of the best parts of Destiny 1, though, and put it in little things in Destiny 2. You know what I mean?
That's
Like you
true.
said, like platforming and adventures and things like that. Like, that was only in strikes or raids or whatever it may be, or really maybe taking king important missions at the end. Now it's in adventures and patrols.
Well,
Which
yeah,
to me,
even
that's
nuanced
just-
platforming during combat sections, right? Like that's just
Yeah.
literally trying to provide it. Like that's like I think some people, I guess, are trying to we're trying to expect Destiny 1 to be the game that reinvents the wheel, like is different than what they're used to.
That's not really
and I don't
fair.
think even Destiny 1 was ever aspiring to be that. Maybe it was hoping to be something bigger and different, but I think it's more different due to its hodgepodge of genres mixed together, as opposed to presenting something entirely new to the table. And I kind of feel like I feel those people's pain. We've been waiting for something new since Call of Duty 4. Like, let's be real. But we just haven't, like, you know? I get it. That layered
think it's-
RPG mechanics in a shooter isn't new, but that's where we're at. Sorry.
Is it
The person
really fair
hasn't
to,
really discovered that.
is it fair to criticize a game, though,
For not being the next big thing? Yeah.
when
No.
they're not necessarily trying to be? They're just trying to be a good, a good version of what's current.
That mind said one last
Like, I don't
True.
think Destiny 2 was supposed to be this. Now, granted, Destiny 1, I think, did have some of those thoughts. A lot of people
Well, there was
thought
a
it
lot of hype, even by the developers said, about some of the stuff it would do that isn't really reflected. Like, one of the things, exotic quests are starting to go in that realm, but one of the things people always use as a counter-argument is, Bungie was saying, you're going to feel attachments to your weapons because of the way you acquire them. And, like,
that never happens.
the exotic quest system sort of feels like that, but you switch guns often enough that it's just not really. Like the way they had described it, it's like you're going to find something completely different than everyone else out in the middle of nowhere and tell the story of how you acquired your weapon, when everyone acquires their weapons the same
Gun
way.
is a
So,
story, yeah.
right? Like like everyone who acquires that exotic acquired it from that exotic quest, from the exact same methods, right? Is kind of the thing that it is. Like basically they were trying to imply that it was a more meaningful version of the MMO system, and it simply isn't. It's just a different take on it.
Yeah. Do we win?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably we should just head back to the farm and call it then. We've got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. We can do that. But I agree with you, Chris. Like that kind of is like it's not really the game's fault for not reinventing the wheel in some cases. Like that's kind of a problem with a lot of stuff right now, right? It doesn't matter if it's music, movies, games. Things start to feel samey. Weren't we just talking about a villain by referencing 2 other properties? Like that's just the byproduct of where we're at in culture.
Yeah, we did do that, Darth Bane.
Can't really blame development. It's all there's no such thing as like an isolated development cycle anymore, is there? Everything's all in this one big bubble. That doesn't mean that big things aren't going to come around that change things. It's just those things aren't everyday occurrences. They never were, you know? How many years was it between the Beethoven and Beatles, right? Like, it's not like that shit just happens every month.
Oh, it was like a day and a half or something.
And with how many games are
what was the
games are coming out?
You guys did? What was the adventure you guys did that I didn't get credit for?
Fucking, I don't remember now.
The Hack the Planet, Exodus Siege.
You're basically saying though, Chris, those people can't smell the roses, or can't see the roses for the beauty over the thorns. Or
one of them was the last mission on Titan, Chris. You can't see the forest for the trees,
like
Ryan.
Well, no, I know that one, but...
Oh, cutscene.
Ooh. Cutscene on the farm. Oh no.
On the contrary.
There we go, Zavala. Our scene with all our boys. So we're gonna have to see who's the best character here.
If we destroy that weapon, we will ignite a chain reaction that could send our sun into a supernova.
Well, at least we have each other.
It's a chicken!
We all know what needs to be done. The Traveler must be freed.
I'm thinking the 3 of us and a big fat pile of explosives can get the job done. Look, I still have that Vex teleporter. It's got a limited range, so we'll have to get a little too close for comfort.
Then we get inside the city walls for it to be effective.
But without the light,
A horse.
an outright assault on the wall is doomed to fail.
Just chilling.
There will be
Now,
no
if you could ride
coming
horses,
back.
what a game.
It's worth it.
How do we get
Come on.
You know, the city wall is kind of like this barn. Plenty of places to slip in unseen, so long as you know how.
Shit, we gonna quest out with Hawthorne?
You sure you're not one of my hunters?
Not really into capes.
Clearly.
Hey.
Nice poncho.
You need to get your team into the city without raising any alarms. My people and I can help you do that. We also happen to be pretty good at shooting bad guys.
Hawthorne, it's one thing for us to put our lives on the line, but this doesn't have to be your fight. You're not
a guardian?
You can't
You think
res.
You've cornered the market on
Then neither can
sacrifice?
they.
You forget that we've had to survive without the light all our lives.
Yeah, it's not a big
Once
deal to
upon a
everyone
time,
else.
That big white ball in the sky was there for all of us. I think it's about time we return the favor. Guardians or not.
That's great speech and all, but let's not forget about the whole supernova and complete annihilation thingy.
If we can't destroy the Almighty, we'll have to disable its weapon. And that means getting a certain Guardian on board.
We'll need a good disguise if we're going to fly right through a Cabal
The
armor.
Guardian Steve
If it's a
Rogers.
Cabal ship you need, there's a base nearby full of them. But it won't
Shit,
be
we're
easy
gonna
sneaking
go
in.
sneak into their garbage
We're done
compactor.
sneaking. If there's one thing I've learned from Cayde, it's the value of a grand entrance.
Oh no.
Anyone want a hug? Hugs? No? No hugs.
Come on, Kyle. That's your boy? Right
The
there?
guy with the chicken? Yeah, that was my boy. He had a fucking
Did you see that at the end? Hugs? No hugs? What is this shit?
I'm sorry, Ryan. Not all
Also,
of us
she
get
insulted him
hugs.
for wearing a cape. I really get the vibe that they're like the Wild West, like obviously they have the class with the gunslinger, but they're like, we're the cool class. Versus, yeah,
They are the
anyway.
cool class. I'm just saying. I think you're undervaluing hugs, Ryan.
That
Hugs are a
last
good
mission
time,
seems
okay?
like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the assault to their giant death Star. We're gonna get in it and stop it from doing its end of the world thing.
Yep.
And you know what else we're gonna do? We're gonna free the speaker, because rumor has it that he's been abducted.
Hey,
I mean, yeah, we already knew that, Ryan. It's kind of been announced.
No.
what's the story?
Wow. It's been announced, you say? Well, I didn't know. When did you guys should have told me. Filled me
Dude,
into the loop.
it's been obvious. Man.
Alright. So I'm gonna go quickly talk to her since the cutscene's done. She's just gonna give us where we're going.
Yeah, we'll just kind of take care of all the rest of the shenanigans.
New milestone added. Oh, we can do a strike. If we speak to Zavala, we can do a strike. Shit! We got new people here at the place, and I got stuff at the postmaster, at the thing. Okay, guys, hold on. We got
strike's so good.
We'll have to. Oh, I was gonna say we'll have to do that tonight.
Legendary ghost shell.
Pack of rare shaders.
We know he's got
Case of energized armor mods.
Strikes peaked to Zavala.
Yeah, I got all this shit.
Use it to sneak aboard the Almighty and
Sorry, I like having shit.
It can blow up our sun. Do me a favor.
I don't know about you guys, but shit
Oh
is
boys,
nice.
I capped out on Glimmer.
When you give the signal,
Yeah, I think it stops at like 99999.
Yeah.
Plus, yes it does. And
Oh,
you
shit,
can
we
speak to
have-
Ikora for challenges.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. So yeah, now we're unlocking shit now, boys. We've got this. We're accomplishing our destiny. So apparently we're in the. I hate to tell you this, but we're in the minority right now, gentlemen. The high minority of Destiny 2 players. Jeff Gersman tweeted out an image that shows the percentile that everyone has the trophy for hitting level 20 of all Destiny users. 70% of Destiny users have fucking level 20. So we literally are scrubs here.
We're 18. We've
But-
played 3 characters, Ryan, and we're waiting for
Yes,
you.
true. Yeah, that's true. Also, to be fair, Jeff was also commenting on how that number actually just looks strong for the amount of people beating Destiny based on the strength of its story content versus this time out versus when Destiny 1 launched. The number of people that played Destiny for like 4 hours last time out and then just put it down.
Yeah, that was but the first time that was me because I had it on 360 and I didn't have anything else to do and I didn't have anybody to play with. I was like, well, fuck this.
Oh, guys, this is cool.
What is, Chris?
Stuff like Cayde, you can get the scout reports. You seen that stuff?
Oh, no, I haven't. That sounds really useful for my boy
Complete
Cayde.
2 strikes.
Well, you have to use
That's what you get from Zavala. From Ikora, you get
Way of stopping you from making a terrible mistake. Yeah. me too.
challenges.
See, I volunteered to set up our patrol network, and I haven't done
So,
it yet.
okay, I see. So when we complete milestones, their factions go up. That's cool.
Yep.
Like, see, like to me, the presentation of information about Destiny, like even like Kyle and I obviously got into a long debate about it on one episode about the raid, but like even just when you talk to the vendors, like I do feel like Destiny presents itself that it is a bit like it says off the get-go that it's a bit more MMO and obtuse, and I feel like more users probably can get a handle on that stuff. Okay, what are these scout reports?
Dude,
Oh,
that
that's
shows
old
you loot
patrols.
caches.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not
So,
gonna get that till we play, but
Yeah,
Oh.
it's okay.
Now we unlock all this stuff. Also, they have a whole area, like a whole planet for strikes, basically. Which is cool.
Yeah, boys. Also,
Got that Vanguard
yeah,
strikes.
I'm gonna start putting in some mods and some color stuff, I think.
I'm gonna wait till I have like gear that I want to keep.
I mean, I already
Yes,
know
yeah.
I'm keeping that wings one, so I'm
The
just
wings,
gonna.
yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I mean,
do
yeah,
that.
you go to town then, obviously, Chris, right? But I have no attachment to any gear yet.
Talk to me.
Yeah, you're right. Strikes is like its own thing over here.
Shit, I got a new sword that's
Vanguard strikes
175.
and
I'll take
something
that.
else. All right, boys. I think this is a good place to call it. So thank you for joining me. Next time we'll go clean up the rest of the adventures, and we might go assault the tower. Right?
Did you have some
Yep.
current stuff to talk about?
Fucking, you guys are really good at outros. Almost
Oh,
as good as
I
Ryan is at hot
honestly,
intros.
I thought you were just ending it that way.
No,
We're gonna play Destiny 2.